Xin chào, what's up everybody? How we doing today out there? We're over in Quinh Huế in District 1 on a beautiful Friday night in Saigon City, Vietnam. The video today is going to be foreigners find Vietnam a good place to work. An increasing number of foreigners are choosing to work long-term in Vietnam, which they see as a large and rapidly growing market with strong demand for expertise. So before we jump into the video, if you happen to work here in Vietnam as an expat, I would love to hear from you in the comment section. Please drop a comment in there. If you want to be on a walk and talk vlog on the channel, go ahead and let me know in the comment section as well. We'll set something up. So yeah, let me know if you work here. Let me know your experience before we actually get into it. If you've already read the article, that's fine, but let me get your initial opinions on how it is to actually work in Vietnam, in Saigon specifically, because that's mainly what my channel about Vietnam is about. Are you finding it pleasurable? Are you getting paid a good wage? Is it fun? Is it good? So yeah, you let me know in the comment section. I hope everybody's having a groovy day. We're gonna get into the video now. As ever, I got a fantastic live streaming channel over at kick.com/fatcroak. Check her out. All right, let's get on over here. Okay, Yoon Koo Hee first came to Vietnam 25 years ago as a toddler, but remains in the country now as a 28-year-old. Through his family, has returned to South Korea. It is much more convenient here in Vietnam. The country has become so familiar to me, and I want to work here. As the deputy CEO of an auditing company in Hanoi, he has seen growing demand from South Korean companies looking for professional services as their businesses expand locally. He also plans to invest in cosmetics and open a South Korean language center in the country, as the birth rate in Vietnam is much higher than in South Korea, and this means there's strong demand for these services. So I'm gonna be honest with you, from my knowledge on this stuff, companies do not love to pay a Vietnamese-born, Vietnamese Saigon citizen, even if they're educated in the field and well executed. They tend to pay a foreign counterpart more. So I'm sure that's a lot alike in a lot of markets, but I think for sure that's something here. I feel that a lot of foreign forces feel that Vietnamese labor can be cheaper. So that's just something potentially maybe I've noticed, I don't know. Oh God, don't get hit, dog. The dog's got me so stressed out, but it's just like a human. Like, you just watch the dog, he's gonna cross the street. The dog crossed the street just like a Vietnamese, it's wild. He'll stop and look. He also plans to invest in cosmetics and open a South Korean language center in the country, as the birth rate in Vietnam is much higher than South Korea, and this means there's strong demand for these services. It is a big market, and there's still a lot of spaces to do business. Number of foreigners in the country has surged 37% since 2022 to 1,336,000 of last year, according to the Ministry of Labor, Invalids and Social Affairs. I think running a business is pretty difficult in Vietnam for a foreigner, in my opinion. I think a lot of these companies tend to do pretty well, especially the Koreans, because they're coming here for years and they have established business partners with a lot of already. So it's already set in place. There's like a lot of preset in place stuff, you know? So I think that's why there's a really huge success with like Korean companies. American companies seem to have the in too as well for a lot of stuff. So a lot of these American companies seem to have the in as well. Who we got? Chicken in the middle, chicken in the left, or chicken in the right? I'm gonna go chicken in the middle, 100%, with peace and love. Vietnam has also seen increasing foreign direct investment, which jumps 32% last year to $32.6 billion, with the top investors being Singapore, Japan, Hong Kong, Taiwan, and South Korea, government data shows. A recent survey by recruitment firm Navagos Group found that among Southeast Asian countries, Vietnam was the top choice for 30% of respondents. They listed high incomes and political stability as among the top reasons for choosing Vietnam. Another survey by lender HSBC found Vietnam among the top 10 countries chosen by expats to develop their career. Mo, a South African who came to Vietnam 6 years ago, decided to stay because the country makes him feel safe. So, do you guys actually have a business here? How's it going? I know we got a few guys that has like a nail shop and a cup of coffee shop and other stuff like this. I have had some experience with this. As I was mentioning earlier, the Vietnamese labor force does work for a much cheaper wage. For example, like an IT, what I did in LA when I left, I was at about $75 an hour. That goes for about $8 an hour here. And that's on, like, for real. They'll do advanced networking administration here for like up to $12 an hour. So it is so much cheaper to get a Vietnamese to do the IT work that, you know, where I'd go in and book a quote for something, you know, for, well, you don't understand if you never did IT and stuff. You might book a quote for $2,000 and it might be for what that thing is, right? But you might book a quote for $2,000 and there might be like 4 months of work attached to that, to where you underquoted that bad boy by, you know, $10,000. I mean, I'm being a little drastic, but yeah, it works in that kind of way. So putting in bids for so low and working for so low of a wage, you know, the in here with that kind of business is to then work for other businesses that are foreign, because they're willing to then pay the higher demand. There is a lower quality to the skill set when you pay that low of a money for the product as well. So again, if you understand what I'm saying there, the IT work is a little bit lower. I've got a buddy that used to be my neighbor. He's got an IT company. It'd be great if he commented on the video. If you are watching the video, bud, just make sure you use a random account not attached to your name, but drop a comment. I think his IT business does really successful, but I think he does securities and stuff like that. Like, securities was an exiting thing. It wasn't an exiting, it was just becoming a bigger thing. It wasn't as big as it, I mean, it's always been a big deal, but like, you know, online securities and cloud and all that stuff. It is one of the safest countries that I have been to. In 6 years, nobody has caused any problem for me. I wouldn't say it's the safest, but it's safe. Living in Saigon as he does, he is aware that there are thieves on the street and that crazy motorbike drivers can be an issue and that he is uncomfortable, but none of it is a deal breaker for him. You can live like a poor person and eat street food, or you can live luxuriously and buy a villa. There's a lot of options for foreigners. And amen, that man couldn't even be more truthful on that. There's absolutely a segment of foreigners that love to live as cheap as possible. Some people are just cheap by nature. Some people like just love to get a deal and will look past a whole lot of things for their living conditions just to be paying a super good deal and be able to tell people about it consistently, which I understand. That is not a flex that I possess, thankfully. It's not for me. I like to stay in nicer things. Not nicer, I just want to get so many thumbnails today, bro. Another one. So he works as an English teacher and also trades garments with neighboring countries such as Thailand, Cambodia, and Myanmar. There's a lot of potential in Vietnam. Many companies are looking to source products from the country. Nguyen, National Coordinator of Migrant Labor Program, run by the International Labor Organization, said Vietnam has a lot going for it to become an ideal destination for foreign workers. The government has been marketing changes to welcome more foreigners, such as loosening visa policies, and not limiting the ratio of foreign workers hired by businesses, she said. Now, they have made some changes to getting foreign workers easierly on the books. It's still not easier. I know about this too. It's slightly easier, but it's still way too complicated for a company to get a foreign worker all the needed stuff in a allotted amount of time. It takes way too long. You should see all this stuff. I'm going to do a video on the TRC. If you do need to I am going to start rolling out a service to do, if you need your TRC or visa stuff done and you just don't want to handle it and you want somebody to do it, I'm going to roll out a service for that. So, but you should see how insane just like the TRC process is. It's all like a handwritten, use your horn, bro. I'll just go, ooh. You know why he couldn't use his horn? Because he has his phone in his left hand. That's why. That's why you can't ride around with a phone when you're in a bike. It also allows the use of an old work permit to attest to work experience in a position, she added. Now that stuff is easier. It's like I said it, dude. They're just making you do so much crazy paperwork to get somebody on the books at a job. They're making you jump through so many hoops. They went so extreme after COVID. You know, it used to be so lax, and then they went so extreme. It's like they went too hard. You know, it was what we would call an overcorrection. And Vietnam is not known for fixing their overcorrections or amending something right away when there's complaint. You know, they're gonna do things on their own time. It's another thing I've learned from living here for 5 years. They're gonna do whatever they want. And you're living in their country, so there's not much you can do about it. General Director of Navigos Group Vietnam said foreign personnel at Vietnamese enterprises make a significant contribution to building a multicultural working environment and an intersecting business culture. But he has struggled with bureaucracy while working with the government. With some procedures taking a long time to be completed, he expects stronger reforms. Again, I can guarantee you he's talking about hiring the actual foreigners and the insane process it is to just get that foreigner on the books and get him a proper work permit. But generally, he wants to work in Vietnam for a long time. The country has overcome the post-COVID difficulties and is now recovering much faster than South Korea. It is easier to do anything here. And by the way, when you get a TRC, it's a work permit exempt. So you don't need, if you don't know what that means, I don't know what to tell you. But like I said, if you're gonna need help with all that stuff in the future, I'm gonna be offering a service for that. Just like I said, if you're gonna be needing an apartment, I'm gonna offer a service for that too. So if you're an English teacher and you're working here, if you're having a great experience, let me know in the comment section. If you're having a shitty experience, let me know in the comment section. Feel free to just let me know what you think in the comment section. I've given you my thoughts on it and what I've had experience in. I hope it brought you information, and I hope your day has joy and fulfillment. Hope everybody comes out there. Thanks for watching. Stay frosty. We'll see you on the next one. Peace out.